They ran out as if they were going to leave, and they looked at me, and I'm standing there in the light with a flashlight. So they just rushed me. Yeah. So after that, one of them hit me in the face, and then I didn't have much. There's 3 of them. So I went down, and then they started kicking me, and they were hollering, "Give us the keys to your truck. We want the keys to your truck."
It's the home invasions, the ones that are happening at night, that are most worrisome to most people, because during the day they're gone, so there's no real risk of the confrontation.
One was wearing a mask, the other one had his hood of his sweatshirt drawn up close over around his face, so just his eyes were poking out, and one had a rifle in his hand. If you had asked me prior to this happening what I would have done, I would have said, of course I would have stood up and said, take whatever you want, and been very defensive and unsure. But what actually happened in that moment was something assertive came over me, and maybe a little foolish looking back, as I stood up and I confronted the 2 individuals, went toward the individual with the rifle and grabbed hold of his arm and said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you in my house? What do you want?" But there was something watching over everyone, I think, in that situation, that they didn't retaliate against me, and they made for the door and got away.
Backed right through the front door. They backed the truck right inside. And they didn't say it got less than $2,000 worth of merchandise, and they got $25,000 worth of damage. The people are starting to lose faith in the police, which they shouldn't do, because of the distances that the police have to go to get here, but they're starting to take matters into their own hands and just not reporting crime anymore.
Since it happened to me, I had 5 women approach me to tell me that a similar thing had happened to them. And when I asked them, well, what did you do? Did you phone the police? And they say, well, maybe yes, maybe no. Most of them haven't, and they do that because they don't feel that the police are going to react in a timely manner or really do much about it. And to be honest, that was my experience. As soon as the individuals had left my house, obviously they'd taken my cell phone. I ran across to a neighbor's house, and the response to get an officer to my house was 75 minutes.
There's been a large increase in the number of home defense items, such as shotguns, bear spray, video cameras, game cameras. But yeah, but people that are getting fuel stolen from around equipment and stuff, they're starting to put traps, like conibear traps, leg hole traps.
I find it extremely sad to go and hear these stories from so many people about terrible things that have happened to them. But not just the incidents that have happened to them, but the fact that inside their communities now they've become scared to even be in their own homes. And this has become such a daily part of the dialogue of these communities, and it was not before. And I find that extraordinarily troubling. I'm saddened to keep hearing everywhere I go people having to feel that they need to arm themselves or take drastic action to be able to protect themselves. I mean, it's the responsibility of the government to make sure communities are safe, and that's not happening yet. So I think it's important to note that it's great the government's taking it seriously. I'm glad that they started to finally listen to us, but that's not enough. It's not enough just to invest $14 million. They need to take some time to make sure that we look at all the other ends of this, the criminal code, our justice system.
People never used to lock their doors out here, never. Now they lock their doors, they lock their trucks. They lock everything because they're afraid that people are going to come in.
It won't happen again because I'll be blazing. You betcha.
What do you mean?
I'll shoot next time. I should have never went out there without a gun. It's stupid to go out there. Even if you had a gun that was, it'd have to be loaded, but you wouldn't have to shoot because they'd have been out of here like